What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Bench Warmers. It's been 2 days. We missed you guys for 2 days. Couldn't get the intro smoothly, but I'm your host JJT with Kamish Eric. Today, in this episode, we'll talk about Week 8 schedule. Week 8, imagine Week 8. We're closing in on the halfway mark of our season. If you guys start on week 20, right? Some starts their playoffs on week 19, right? So, Kamish,
Yes, hi guys.
we're on week
Hello.
8. Before we start, though, I'd like to share or show some appreciation to everyone who subscribed to our YouTube channel because we've reached 500 subscribers. Yeah, 500. Hopefully, we put a K there eventually. But that's halfway from our target this year. So we need 500 more of you guys to share the channel and spread the word about the Fantasy Benchwarmers podcast. So, Kamish, we'll talk about schedule today. There are teams with 2 games, right?
Yeah, there are teams with 2 games, Portland and San Antonio. Well, with Portland, we know that Dame is also coming back.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So that means players like Justice Winslow might not be a good will be a drop for sure. After their game tomorrow, maybe you can drop him already. But also don't forget about these two teams though, Portland and San Antonio, because their games after their 2 games this week comes in a later part of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Later part of the week. They have games on one of the quality day and then on I think Sunday. So they have pretty okay schedule starting from Friday, Sunday. So they will have a 3-day break. They will have a 3-day break. So you can drop the players then and add them back to the latter part of the week.
Yeah. So if there's a perfect time to drop them already. They have a game though tomorrow. So after tomorrow, right, you may want to just drop them so that by the time that they clear off waivers, you still have the chance to get them in case that they are the best available streamers out there, right?
Because both of them play that we have 2 quality days for the next week. The same Wednesday, Friday, Manila time, Tuesday, Thursday, US time. The same situation.
Yeah.
And San Antonio and Portland play on the Friday part, the second quality day.
Yeah.
So there's still streaming potential there by the end. Now, who are the players we could probably drop? In Portland, it's clear. Winslow is clear. And then after that, there's really nobody else that you would drop. I won't drop, well, Jeremy and Fernie, Nurkic. You won't drop all of guys. Josh Hart is not a droppable player for me. San Antonio is a little bit more question mark because we know Potel and Sohan are still out. So people might be tempted to keep Zach Collins, who's starting. But I think you should just drop him because he's not really that high of an upside player anyways.
Yeah.
So drop him after their game tomorrow. I think he's a drop already. Even the Charles Bassey, who played well the last game, I don't think he's worth holding on. And the other players, they're not named Trey Jones, Vassell, or Keldon, are probably not worth holding on for the Spurs for the first part of the week.
Yeah. So you mentioned quality days. Like you said, Wednesday, just 3 games. Wednesday, Manila time. Tuesday, US time. 3 days. 3 games on Wednesday. Friday, Manila time is 3 games as well. And then the rest are spread out to at least 7 or 8 games with some with 10 or 11 games. All right. Back-to-backs. Let's look at back-to-backs.
I think back-to-backs will be very important this week because there are very few teams that have games on both of the quality days. There are very few teams. So maybe, and there are also, if you look at, as Jeremy said, the number of games that are non-quality days are 8, 7. There are only two days with 10 or 11 games. So there might be still chances to stream on those days,
Yeah.
on the 7 or 8 game days. No, so back to backs would be more important. I think use the back to backs instead of the quality days because there are very few teams with quality days on both.
Yeah. And since the Judgment Day game, there are only 7 games, so there's a possibility that you won't have a full roster as well. It would
Yeah.
might be good to plan that, save a move for that day, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. You don't waste all your moves, and on Judgment Day, at least you have one move that you can use to stream a player, or you can stream a team with a back to back schedule, right? Sunday to Monday game, which is Chicago in this case. They have a back to back on Sunday and Monday. So if you do that, then at least on Judgment Day you'll have at least more number of players that will be playing.
I
If
did.
not, right, you can also
Yeah.
stream on Monday with Atlanta being the back-to-back team, Monday to week 9 schedules.
Yeah. For the latter part of the week.
Yeah,
But
for the latter part
entering
of
the
the week.
week, I did give them some tips. For one, the back to backs on the start of the week. That's very very important. There are 2 teams with back to backs on the start of the week, which is Dallas and Miami. Dallas and Miami. They have a game on Tuesday and Wednesday Manila time. The first two days of the week they will have a game. So that's perfect for you to save a move. We go into the first day of the week, add a player from Miami or Dallas, and then use that player for the next day, which is a three game day. That's very light schedule day. So,
Yeah.
for instance, instead of dropping Caleb Martin because Butler
Butler's
came back,
back. Yeah.
you could just hold on to him for a while. Use this good early schedule. Also for Dallas, maybe borderline Dorian Finney-Smith. I'm assuming Tim Hardaway is already rostered, but if it's not, you better go and pick him up. I think he's also very good to start the week. Tim Hardaway, Dorian Finney-Smith, maybe Maxi Kleber because Christian Wood is sick with something. We don't know how long that would take for him to return. So maybe you can speculate on that. So that's the start of the week. Then after that, of course, that's the quality day, and then there will be back to backs. Let's say the Lakers and Detroit. They're
Yeah.
the teams with a back to back on Wednesday and then Thursday. On the other hand, so you can use players from those 2 teams for your next stream before you go to the next quality day, which is Friday.
Yeah.
So that's basically how I go about it. Dallas and Miami, then Lakers and Detroit. Then you can go with
The
Clippers.
Clippers. Yeah.
Yes, the Clippers with a back-to-back on Thursday and then Friday. And then you go with Houston, Portland, San Antonio. As I said, Portland and San Antonio on the latter part of the week. You can do that kind of plan.
Yeah. It's
Roadmap.
also important who are the teams with these types of schedules, right? Because some teams here might not have a good streaming player, right? Not all teams would have great streaming options for you guys. But pretty much a bunch of these teams would have probably 1 or 2 players, the ones mentioned, right? Miami, Dallas, Lakers, Detroit. I think there are some streaming options there, and the Clippers. But at least knowing gives you a good start. It's a good start to know which players you're gonna target on these days. All right. Best schedules when it comes to streaming. Miami, like Kumish said, Miami. They
Miami.
have
Yeah.
2 games on They have games on both quality days, right?
And 4 games.
Yeah,
and
and
4 games. That's why they're
Denver,
number 1. Yeah.
Denver also has games on both quality days, but they only have 3 games there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a little more challenging when it comes to the number of games, although still good because they have games on quality days. Detroit has 1 quality game day, but they also have 4 games, which is a good streaming option. And the Clippers, again, 1 quality day with 4 games for
And a
the week.
back-to-back.
And a back-to-back.
the Orlando Miami back to back. So just to expound a little bit on this teams, no, Miami number one because the schedule they have Grizzlies, Pistons, they have Spurs, they do have the Clippers there. So the schedule is good, streaming is good, number of games is also good. Denver not as good in terms of number, but still the quality days. In case you're in a weekly start league, you can't do what I told you to do. You can't just add drop as the week goes along. Then these two are the teams you target. The problem there is, as we said, Miami. Okay, maybe Caleb, maybe he's available. Maybe some people dropped him with Jimmy coming back. But outside of that, maybe Highsmith. The only guy who's getting 20 plus minutes right now that I think is available is Highsmith. For Denver, maybe Bones Highland was dropped. He's been playing very well, so he's the guy that you could consider there. Outside of Bones, really don't see anybody
Yeah.
any
That's what I said.
anybody in Denver.
That's what I'm saying. Important to know which teams would have probably good streaming players. Detroit, meantime, has some maybe.
Yeah, Alec Burks
Alec
and
Burks.
well, Sadiq Bey, we recommend a drop overall. But if you know for this kind of schedule, maybe you could use him in some games for this week. Sadiq in some streaming situations, and then Duren is probably a long shot. This is probably the best option. Detroit has more. The Clippers also have more, depending on whether Paul George and Kawhi do return
Plays. Yeah.
in this road trip, because this is their Eastern Conference swing, their road trip. But the back-to-back, I'm pretty sure both of them will not play. So there will be players like Terrence Mann, maybe Marcus Morris will be dropped, Reggie Jackson. Yeah, there will be more players to target in Detroit Clippers situation than the Denver Miami.
Yeah, and after today's game, I'm pretty sure Reggie Jackson is going to be widely available.
Yes.
In your waiver wire.
Yeah.
And lastly, some fantasy the teams with the good schedules, Indiana and Milwaukee. They have, and teams with the worst schedules are Houston and Sacramento. Houston goes against Philly, San Antonio, and Milwaukee, while Sacramento has Milwaukee, Cleveland, and New York. So
actually, the Rockets, not only the matchups, after every game they have a 2-day break. Yeah. So that is the worst kind of situation if you have
in terms of streaming, right? You stream just for one game and then you probably,
or if you have, let's say, Tari Eason.
Yeah.
If you have Tari Eason, it's so frustrating. He's not been performing that well. And then you play him for one game and then yeah, he played well today. But after you play him for one game, you have to wait 2 days of holding him without games. It's tough to see a Tari Eason or KJ Martin, let's say, on your lineup, or even a Jabari Smith who's not really that performing that well. It's easier if it's like KPJ or Jalen Green because or Sengun. They produce, right? So that's a tough schedule for the Rockets and the Kings also. The Kings matchup probably not preferable. Plus they have a 2-day break to start the week. So aside from San Antonio, Houston, you can also probably drop some borderline Sacramento players to start the week because they have a 2-day break.
Yeah.
Good to know those things. Good to know those
just
things.
Just good to know at least when you're trying to stream, you are kind of aware on why some other managers are not picking this guy up. Maybe they also know the schedule, right? And you don't want to waste too much of your moves, right? You add a player and then you suddenly find out that he's gonna have a 3-day break or 2-day break after, then you just need to drop in. So you kind of wasted one more move. Other streaming options, we talked about Bones, Caleb, Martin, TJ McConnell is actually a good streaming option, especially when Tyrese will not play because he is questionable for some games. Although he hasn't missed any game yet. But yeah, just in case, TJ McConnell, you have to wait for that. Andrew Nemhard is another option. Reggie Jackson, as Komish said. Markel Fultz or Cole Anthony. I'm pretty sure they're not there, but just in case, they still are, worth a pickup. Kyle Anderson, Jalen Noel. Jalen has been on fire. So I think he should be added at this point.
Actually, Minnesota has a 3-day break also to start the week. So I feel like there might be managers who will drop
him. Yeah.
some of the players. So if they drop them, try to add them because after the 2-day break they have good schedule, good matchups, and they have a back-to-back. So I like those players. Thursday, starting Manila time Thursday, add them and then run with them for the rest of the week.
Yeah. AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson, and Jarrett Culver for the Hawks, just because I don't think John Collins and DeAndre Hunter would be playing this week, or at least not at the early part of the week. I think DeAndre is going to be out for at least a week, right? So I think
at least a week.
So it's been a few days only. So probably I doubt he's going to play this week. So yeah, those three guys.
And the matchups are good. The matchups are good for Atlanta. So keep them rostered. They have 4 games also.
Yeah. So there. All right, that's it for a scheduled episode. We'll post this on the website. It's posted on the Facebook page. And hope if you just want to read through the stuff that we just talked about, you can do that on our website, fantasybenchwarmers.com. That's it for today. We'll have a quickie after this. Bye, guys.